Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adini Aji Shafe. Well, it was a night that won't be forgotten easily by Arsenal fans. Right now, the citizens, Manchester City, were able to upstage them from the top of the table there. Once again, you're welcome on the show. We're looking at a lot of stories trending in the world of sports. But we'll be starting from the home scene, talking about Super Falcons. They went right now, they are in Mexico. Well, they lost their game against Mexico. The host of the Revelations Cup actually took place in Mexico, where they lost that game by a lone goal that was scored in the 85th minute. Talking about the Super Falcons, that's the first story we'll be looking at before we go into football, rather the MPFL and also NWFL. But right now, Super Falcons lost that game, making it the 6th defeat so far in all the matches they've played, friendlies and all that. But hopefully they'll bounce back. They'll be facing Colombia and also Costa Rica in the remaining 2 matches in that particular, I'll actually call it a fix-up games there. Well, I have in the studio Ikena Okonkwo. Good to have you.
Thank you so much, Adeni, once again.
Yes, looking at our ladies, they tried their best, but they actually lost out in that game.
Well, it's a match I didn't expect anything much, being that, they just, various players from different clubs came in, playing in different clubs, and then they all gathered in Mexico there, just day before yesterday, or less than 2 days before they played that match yesterday. I mean, I didn't expect much, being that if not for the goalkeeper, that match would have ended in as many goals that one could imagine. But the goalkeeper, it was a night that she was composed and was warding off all the incursions from the opponent. It's a test game. Sometimes friendly is not the real representation of what to see in the main deal, talking about the World Cup they are facing thereafter. So, but I'm concerned as well because that team, Super Falcons, haven't won any game in the past
6 matches.
Not just months, months. From the WAFCON they took part in last year. In fact, from that WAFCON, they have not won any match after qualifying after picking up the World Cup ticket. And I don't know how they intend to cope with the World Cup heat, except they are just participating to participate. But the team, I believe, have come out up to age in terms of the number of times they are participating in that World Cup to begin to look at going beyond just participating or just the group stage and perhaps the next round of it, which is round of 16. So the current coach, I don't know. I really don't know what he's doing with that team.
Okay, let's even leave the coach. But I look at the entire squad, needs to really work hard. The players themselves, the coaching crew, all of them, because they are going to the World Cup. And what they need now is, just get the right players, make sure they are the one that will be featured. And also, well, from the way it is, we know that when it comes to performance at the world stage, it's always not as good as Africa for Super Falcons. So they need to up their game. This time around, they need to make a difference. If you look at it, really, the Super Falcons are really aging, the squad. They need to inject new blood, as the young ones, young players, who actually can add more speed, or you want to call it pace, and know that vigor, that strength. Because most of these players, if you check, out of the 20 players or thereabout, I can tell you that at least about 10 are old.
Very much. I like, that's why I said, well, my last one before you interjected this time, that they don't know what the coach is doing. Because unlike his Super Eagles counterpart, who has been in Nigeria going about watching league games, he doesn't come to Nigeria per se, except there is maybe a match to play, they are to camp in Nigeria to play the match. So that Super Falcons had a foundation of young players. Yes, they had 1 or 2, the people can watch them, Madu then. But even at that, they were not that old. When they eventually were aging, they were advised, and of course, they retired. So the crop of players that are there now, the likes of MAB, Star Shola, a good number of them, Odega, they were younger people that were recruited basically from Nigeria, from our league here. So now the Super Eagles, I mean, the Super Falcons are gradually turning to, what Super Eagles probably, became at some point, which is that we look for players, look at the plummet that is there, look for Nigerian players who were born outside there. So, but we'll have a number of players. Look at Gift Monday. He's not in that team. He's a part of this league in Nigeria, a local league, Nigeria Women Football League. So there's need to, go back to the drawing board and do the needful.
Well, we just hope that Super Falcons will get their acts together as they prepare ahead of the World Cup, playing the Revelation Cup that is actually taking place in Mexico there. They lost their first game. They'll be facing Costa Rica and also Colombia. Now, let's tweet to the men's football now, but this time around in the MPFL, matches were played across Nigeria. And we look at the midweek matches. Plateau United while up El Kanemi Warriors as Eyimba, Wiki, picked 3 points. A good one there for those winning team there. Bende Insurance, they picked Nasarawa United, a double-header for the two states, Edo State and Nasarawa State. Although Nasarawa State lost the 2 matches when it comes to the men and the women, 1-0 against them in that match that was played at Samuel Ugbemudia Stadium, Benin City. Eyimba 2-0 against Shooting Stars. They shut down the Shooting Stars of Ibadan there, where a maker was able to at least score goals and make him the higher goal scorer. Plateau United 5-0 against El Kanemi. It was a wallop in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kwara United actually shared the spot against Remo Star. Their new coach, in the person of Kabiru Dogo, was able to at least salvage them a draw, a point in that particular encounter. Now, if you look at the way the table is, and Group A, after playing these matches, Bende Insurance are still running away. They are yet to lose in this tournament. They have 20 points now after playing 8 matches now with a 9-goal difference. Eyimba second with 16.4 points, setting them aside. Plateau United, after Walomi Academy, are now third on the law with 14 points. The same point they have with Remo Star, but on goal difference of 6-1. Aqua United, they will be playing their match today. They have 11 points with 3 as their goal difference. Shooting Stars, they were defeated by Eyimba. They have a -2 and 9 as their point. Gombe United 7, -1. Kwara United, who actually shared the spoil there in that game against Remo Stars. El Kanemi, who lost by 5 goals, added another 5, making it -10, and they have 5 points. Nasarawa United, solid minus. They didn't get it right against in that match against Bende Insurance, and they lost out, having still remaining at the bottom of the table with 4 points from 8 matches with a -7 goal difference.
Yeah, I think the matches that happened yesterday were also good matches, even though there was only a draw in both groupings. But I mean, a away draw, I meant to say. It's still good. I mean, that fair officiating. So it happens that it could turn out to be a match day that there wouldn't be any away win. But things, you see, Plateau United is the team that have caught my eyes in the past 3-4 matches because I've taken time to watch them. That team, especially against, was it Remo Stars they played? No. Was it Monster they played or Bendo Insurance they played on Saturday before yesterday's game? I mean, looking so cohesive, that Plateau United team. I don't know how the coach, was able to do, though he was with them last season.
Electrical, right?
Yes, Fidelis Electrical. The team gave, I think it was Remo Stars, a serious bite that it was actually in Ikene that match happened. They ended 1-1. So if you see the way they play, when they are coming for an attack, they come like a rushing wind, So it's a team that I wasn't surprised that they beat Academy Warriors with that margin of goals, 5. I mean, it wasn't a tea party thing.
This seems to be
a
one
massacre,
of the biggest loss in the MPFL this season.
Yeah, so far. No team had lost with more than, I think, 3 nils. But this is the biggest, like you said. So it's a team that I believe that would have so much going for them moving forward in this. Just like I also look at Bende Insurance with what they are doing. Remo Stars are not far away, and I believe that in this group, particularly, these three teams are looking like those that will end up going for the Super 6 at the end of the season.
Okay, we just look at Group A match. They're talking about the men's football now. We quickly move to Group B, where matches were also played, and we'll give you the result and also the table alongside. Niger Tornadoes 1-1 against Bayelsa United. Well, actually, wallowing at the bottom of the table there. Dakada FC, they made it 2-1 against Sunshine Stars. Wiki Tories also in Bauchi. They were able to win their game against Lobi Stars, beating Lobi in that game. While Doma United in Gombe were able to defeat Abia Warriors, who have been very, very strong this season. And you look at this particular group, very tough one. Let's look at the way the table is still standing there in Group B. Lobi are still leading despite losing that game and also being trailed by Abia Warriors, who are second on the log, followed by Rivers United, who are yet to play because of the CAF Confederations Cup that they actually participated. You have 13 points for the two teams, Abia and Rivers, on 4-4 also on goal difference. Sunshine Stars of Akure, they have 12 points alongside Doma United. Really, the newcomers are showing the old guys that they have really they have arrived when it comes to playing in the MPFL. They've done well so far. They have 12 points and 1 on goal difference, 8 matches. Niger Tornadoes 9, and you have -1 there. Enugu Rangers as well. The team that a lot of Nigerians really love to follow. They have 8 points after playing 7 matches with a -2 on goal difference. Wiki Tories of Bauchi winning that game got them 8 points. Dakada FC 7 points. You have Bayelsa United with 6 points. What a tough group.
Yeah, it's very tough and very. They are following themselves very closely. So whatever team that win or loses, I mean, it gets to tell on the table immediately. The only team there, the club there that seem to be, looking like they want to make a difference if they eventually play their remaining, outstanding 2 matches, they will be able to catch up with the first club if they eventually win the 2 matches, like I said earlier. So it's a team that is too close to call, even from bottom. Anything can still happen before. By the time the first phase is ending and then second phase begins.
Well, to let you know that all the clubs will be fighting for honors in this Abrig League. They have 18 matches that they will be playing now, 10 to go, and for them to get the Super 6, that will be able to know the winner of the MPFL for this season. Just giving you an update there in Group A and B of the MPFL midweek matches that was played across Nigeria. Now, let's go to the women football. While the Super Falcons were actually planning to do their own, the ladies here in Nigeria that were actually playing are talking about the NWFL. Well, match day 9, looking at the results so far from the way they played. Rivers Angels, they lost that game at home against Bayelsa Queens. Floris Sebastian and Etime Didion, well, they were able to score those goals for Bayelsa Queens. Adaobi Oka actually got one back for Rivers Angels there. It ended 2-1 for the visiting team. And you have Royal Queens, they pipped Oshun Babes 1-0. Favor EJJ actually scoring in the 65th minute to get Royal Queens over there in Sapele, where they won that game. At least they deserve to win. They've been defeated by so many clubs this season. Talking about Royal Queens in that game. But right now, we look at Group A table now as it actually is standing. You have Delta Queens topping with 17 points. Bayelsa are trailing with 15, 2 points adrift after playing their match. You have Rivers Angels also, they have 10 points, and you follow them by Atlat Queens, 8, Royal Queens, they have 8 also. Nigeria Test of Abuja, they have 7 points. Oshun Babes from Oshun State there, they have 6 points with a -8 goal difference. This group is also very tough, but you look at Delta, Bayelsa and Rivers. They've shown that really they are the big ladies when it comes to this particular group.
Yeah, especially Delta and Bayelsa. I mean, the points gap between them and the Rivers that are on the third.
7 points, 5 points.
Yeah, seem to be a little wide. So looking at how they will end, because they also played their Super 6 at the end of the season. So it's going to be a tough one to call at this moment. But if these 3 teams continue the way they are running this season so far, they may end up coming out of this particular group on the tops to join the other group that also produced three clubs.
Good one there. Now, Delta Queens, Bayelsa, Rivers are topping in Group A. Let's look at Group B, as matches also went down in different locations as the women were actually playing. Let's look at Group B result as we also take the table simultaneously. Now, Edo Queens defeated Nasarawa Amazon. It was a 5-goal thriller, while MC Samuel scored in the 55th minute. A minute afterward, Dominance Odubanjo actually put one bar for the Amazons. Suliat Abidin, 71st minute, while Titilaya Weda also made another one to make it 2-2 before Yetunde Fajobi make it 3-2 in favor of Edo Queens to make it a win for the Edo Queens there. FC Robo Queens of Lagos, 2-0 against Abia Angels for Lashade Jamilusi and Taiwo Lawa. They were on songs for the FC Robo Queens of Lagos. And you have Ibom Angels also make it 2-0 against Adamawa Queens. Udeme Uko and Adekemi Akiton actually scoring those 2 goals for Ibom Angels over there in Uyo. Now, let's look at the way the table is standing in Group B now. Edo Queens are really running away with 2 points ahead of Nasarawa Amazons and FC Robo Queens of Lagos, who actually share the same point alongside Conference Queens of Kogi. Those 3 teams, Nasarawa, FC Robo, and Conference Queens, are having 13 points. Abia Angels, Adamawa Queens, and Ibom Angels. It seems the Queens are stronger than the Angels.
Really, you know, the women thing is about Queens and Angels. And then Nasarawa decides to stand out to be Amazons, which is also unique. And this group is tighter. The gaps between the various clubs, just about 1 and 2. So it can, from the bottom to the top, any team can still go down. Any other team can, you know, jump up the ladder. So what happens at the end is what that means. Like I said in the Group A, who will be.
A very tough one in this particular group there. 15 points for Edo Queen, Nasarawa, FC Robo, and Conference Queens fighting on to see how they can reduce the tally there. Just giving you updates concerning women football in Nigeria, Group A and B. Let's quickly move away from there and talk about volleyball. That's beach volleyball taking place in Kaduna State, where the President Beach Volleyball is actually taking place. Let's look at the result as we actually give you there. Well, for the under-17 girls and boys, we have Kada Emirates defeating Pro Spikers 2-0. Falcons Volleyball Club, they lost against Katsina in the beach volleyball Day 2 result. Kada Emirates 2-0 against Young Eagles in the under-17 boys. FCT defeated Young Eagles 2-0. You have Pro Spikers against Iyayan Spikers. Adamawa Spikers also won their game against Samba Boys, while the women category saw NSCDC, that's Civil Defense, losing against FCT, as Kaduna also lost against Nigerian Customs. Men, Correctional Service won against GG Spikers, while Niger Brass lost their game against Desert Warriors. In those games, they actually lost by 2. And just giving you update concerning the President Beach Volleyball that is taking place in Kaduna State. The Day 2 result actually being showcased. And quickly, let's move international to give you update on concerning matches, games that were earlier played today in the NBA, where games were played. About 10 games were played. And quickly, let's give you the result as it went down. Chicago Bulls lost by 4 points against Indiana Pacers, while Charlotte Hornets defeated San Antonio Spurs by 10 extra points, 120 to 110. Miami Heat lost by 105 to 116 against Brooklyn Nets, while Boston Celtics, they were able to do so well against Detroit Pistons, winning them 127 to 109. New York Knicks 122 against 101. Atlanta Hawks losing in a wide margin in that particular encounter. Cleveland Cavaliers lost their game by 6 points against Philadelphia 76ers, who scored 118. Memphis Grizzlies also fought hard as they were ahead against Utah Jazz by 117 to 111. Houston Rockets were really very low as their Rockets fell down against Oklahoma City Thunder 133 against 96. What a margin there for Oklahoma. Then Denver Nuggets from Colorado won their game 119, extra 9 points ahead of Dallas Mavericks, who were not Maverick enough as they lost that game, while New Orleans Pelicans 102, extra 18 points for Los Angeles Lakers, who right now are making statements in that particular game. They won extra 18 points against New Orleans Pelicans. Just giving you updates concerning all the ball sport there. We talked about the beach volleyball and also the NBA. This is basketball, giving you update in the dunk and slam sport. Away from there, let's quickly talk about the Gunners. being defeated in that match against Citizens. Talking about EPL now, Citizens beat Gunners. Maybe it should be Citizens gone down Gunners to go top of Premier League. Look at this particular match. A lot of people were waiting to see who will win this game, but really, Manchester City show class against Gunners.
Well, as predicted by many, it came out to be because Arsenal, some people expressed confidence that they will retain the top, while some other persons said when the heat gets tough or gets hotter, they will be able to know which angle though they still have a match in hand, which of course if they win, they will go back to their position being the top. But that's 3 points. What happens ahead? I mean, matches are still ahead, and you cannot take it away that City, if there's any other thing they wouldn't get this season, they want to still make a statement with returning the league. But one could say, are they not tired of this league thing? Winning it back to back for how many times? You know, it's not been easy for them to conquer Europe. I don't know why. And it appears that this is the only place they are showing that they have got the stuff. But you see, Arsenal may have themselves to blame for yesterday's game, especially. They also have themselves to blame for losing to a struggling Everton and then having a draw with the Fulham. Though Fulham has been a good side this season, they are proving tough for the top clubs. However, there are some games you need to tidy to make sure that against the Super 4, Super 6 sides, you are able to see what you can get out of it. But losing to a side that is, you know, down the radar on the table, it gives so much to be desired. And so they are biting their teeth right now, or they have themselves to blame for all of those points they dropped. 6 points, 4 points, between Fulham and the Everton games. And then yesterday, they had chances to kill that game in the first half. But they really didn't take those chances. They don't have to pay in the second half squarely. And that was how they lost it all.
It was a painful one for the Gunners across the globe as their team actually succumbed to Citizens, the Manchester City, who were trying to close the gap. And right now, that gap has been closed and they are actually topping. Let's look at the way the table is standing there. Manchester City right now topping with a goal difference of 36. What a way to score goals. They have extra 10 goals ahead of Arsenal, who actually have 26 goals. And from the way it is, even if it ends this way, just an example, Manchester City will actually win on goal difference. Good one for City, the one they call Citizens, ahead of Gunners. Let's see what happens over the weekend. Maybe they'll be able to turn things around and the team will actually bring down Manchester City. But a tough one there, talking about how Manchester City dramatically go back to the top of the Premier League. And quickly, Real Madrid, after celebrating the Club World Cup, they won over there in Morocco. They also came back home and actually started from where they dropped the baton and they were able to win against Elche 4-0 in that game to reduce the lead of Barcelona in La Liga. Good one for Real Madrid. And quickly, let's look at how the table is also in Spanish La Liga there after they were able to win that game. Talking about Real Madrid beating Elche to cut La Liga Barcelona lead in that particular game. Ikena.
Yeah, it's a good one that I also expected that to happen because they seem to have picked form with their display at the FIFA Club World Cup. And I believe that they will be able to give Barcelona a good chase from now to see what they can do at the end of the season. Though Barcelona have also picked their form, they hardly lose these days. The worst being that they could just get that one goal and try to guide it jealously and then take it at the end of the day. So Real Madrid need to watch it, see that they don't lose further in the league, and by the end, they will be able to show what they've got. But Champions League is still there, so they would want to, still look at how they would continue their lead in terms of the success they are recorded in Champions League more than any other club at all participating in that particular encounter.
A good one for Real Madrid. At least they were able to reduce the tally. If you look at it right now, Real Madrid, they just have to work hard to reduce it, at least get closer to Real Madrid, rather Barcelona, well, if we look at it right now, 56-48, they need to really work hard now. From the way it is, Barcelona seems to be edging ahead, 36 in goal difference, and Real Madrid are having 27. Just to let you have a feel of how the table is in La Liga. Now, the big one that happened yesterday, UEFA Champions League, where Borussia Dortmund, they were able to do it against Chelsea. Well, it was a match that a lot of people were expecting that Chelsea players would get that winning streak, but it didn't happen. But really, if you look at the strikers, they need to really up their game. They play well, but the goals were not coming. Club Brugge against Benfica also ended 2-0. But let's look at Dortmund, Chelsea.
So they keep playing so much football. Look at the possession to be high. I mean, especially since the new guys joined. But there's still something lacking in front of goal. I'm talking about Chelsea. When it goes to finishing, they seem to lose, an idea of what to do. But if it comes to, building up and all of that, they seem to, of course, get to move and move. So I don't know what the coach is not getting right, or will I say the players are not also adhering to. So they need to work very hard to make sure that they leave this particular spot of, a spot that they don't seem to be informed in terms of scoring goals. But the team seems to be getting fitter and getting more cohesive.
And hopefully, by the time they gel at the front, the goals will be coming.
It has to flow. It has just to flow. It
has to flow there. Talking about Chelsea against Borussia Dortmund. In that game, Karim Adeyemi really did well with that somersault where after scoring those goals, that particular goal. Now, for Benfica, they did well against Club Brugge of Belgium in an away match. They did well. They are winning 2-0. You just have to give it up to Benfica, having that particular belief in themselves, and they were able to at least drop Club Brugge in that game.
Yeah, so it's a good advantage that when it gets to the time they will play, at home against the same club, it will be something that they will want to, seal in terms of number of points. But at this stage, it's good that that any team, any club that have what it takes, get the point, because a time will come when you need that point to move to the next level.
The time will come, you need that point, but right now, Chelsea need to work on the second leg. It's going to be a tough one there for Club Brugge. They just have to come another day. Giving you update in the world of sports for those stories that have to do with Nigeria and also international sporting activities there. Well, Ikena Okonkwo has been in the studio. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much, Adeniyi.
I am Adeniyi Ajisafe. Thanks for watching.